So we're going to be cooking actual, just regular baking inside the brick oven today. No pizzas. We're doing a roast pork that's going to be apple stuffed and some vegetables in the brick oven. So basically the same thing as lighting an open fire. The only thing that you have to contend with in this one is that you have to warm a flue. So the flue has to get going. You got to get that warmed up so it starts drawing. But it's basically the same thing. You get your two logs set up side by each. Get a little bit of small kindling, a little bit of larger kindling, and we'll move on to bigger pieces of wood. Pretty much everything else is the same. Get 3 or 4 pieces of paper and lay in the smaller twigs on top across, bridging the 2 pieces of firewood there. You can throw some little pieces that fall off like that right in front. And then same thing, just stack it up a little bit. Give it some good air to breathe. Use some little shorter pieces that are thicker girth, and then crisscross it again. Kind of log cabin style. You light that, that'll be going in about 2 minutes. You'll have a good fire going as long as everything's dry. And as long as I can actually function and get this built. Got 2 left hands today. Very windy today, so you're probably going to see it's going to smoke a little bit, I would think. The winds are really extreme here today in New Hampshire. Scared enough so our German Shepherd doesn't want to go outside because of the noise. Big tough dog. She's out behind me here guarding me though, so we're good in case of Indian attacks or anything. And you see, it'll start right up. That'll be going. 2 minutes tops. Sorry about the finger. Do that a couple minutes, it's going to be going good. Then you just progressively move to bigger pieces of wood. We're going to get this going. It's probably going to go, I would think we'd have that fire going probably an hour before we even think about putting anything in it. You can see right now, this oven barely ever smokes, and it's getting a little wisp of smoke before it gets up and goes up the flue. So we're going to tilt the camera back, show you, if it'll show you, where the smoke ends up going in that gap there. It clears that metal lentil, it shoots up. You can see the flames right now tickling around the lentil and going up the chimney. So we'll check in a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, it's something windy up here in New Hampshire today. So Catherine's cutting up some potatoes to boil. We're making mashed potatoes. She's got the number 12 cast iron, Vidalia onion, and garlic, fresh cloves of garlic ground, squished or whatever. Doing the potatoes in garlic, black pepper, and chicken broth. And then in the oven, we're going to open up this package of cubed raw squash, butternut squash that we grew last year. And we're going to put that in the oven and bake that also. So now as the fire progresses and you put progressively larger logs on, you can notice that I'm starting to push the fire back. It's down, it's back into the oven about at least 2 feet now. Just keep it burning. As it burns, keep pushing it back. Eventually it'll end up at the back of the oven, and when it is, you're pretty much ready to cook. Okay, I've mopped out the floor, so I pushed this fire way back now. It's right basically to the back wall. If I was cooking pizzas, I might push it back a little bit further. Pushed it back, scraped it, got the ashes out of there, and then you mop it with a wet mop that you make. We can show you sometime how to do that. Put a little bit more kindling style slash, real thin pieces of wood, get the heat up again, and we're going to let it die down. It'll be ready to cook. The floor of the oven, that's 505 right there where you see the laser. So it actually has to cool down a little bit once we get going, so be ready to cook pretty quick here. Okay, we got the pork roast in a number 8 cast iron. It's been seared, it's been sealed, tied up. Has a meat thermometer to be able to check it. She's made the garlicky potatoes with chicken broth, and we have the butternut squash all cubed up, ready to roast. All right, ready to put the roast in. Here we go. I put the butternut squash in a little bit ago, and that's already cooking pretty good. Had to cover the potatoes because there's a little bit of ash flying around because it's so windy. So we'll go from there. So everything's out of the oven. It's the baked potatoes first with garlic, black pepper, and chicken stock, and covered on the top with paprika. That's what browned up nice there. The butternut squash cubed, a little bit of olive oil spray, some seasoning, salt, pepper, sea salt, and then the pork roast. All done up. The apples cook good. Everything's good. Apples have cinnamon in them and nutmeg.